times. Don't let Babylon break you. Don't let them break your soul.
In time, stay woke, it's going down.
We gon' wake up the tribes.
Howard,
willing.
what you cooking?
Last days.
Yeah, we about to wake up the tribe. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. In time. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break my soul. Holy Spirit, come down. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. We in the truth, now they scared of us. They knew that Jacob would rise.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
How's everybody doing out there? Y'all good?
Excellent.
Thanks for tuning in. We're picking up where we left off last week. We had a great study last week. Anybody remember what we talked about last week?
The enemy within.
The enemy within. All right. Talked about image. Right? And what about image did we learn?
That's where almost everything starts from is the image, like, fame, country image, different things.
And why did the Most High have a problem with image?
You can relate it back to when, Eve, way back in the garden when the serpent was talking to Eve and then gave Eve an image that they won't surely die, basically. They'll know what's the difference between good and evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why does the Most High hate images? Why does he try to keep us away from images? For what reason? Why us? Why do we have to stay away from it?
That's something that we mainly have a problem with is image.
Okay, good.
Like our people.
Okay, anybody else want to chime in about image?
So image, last week we learned that there is a likeness. There is a likeness that we are supposed to walk in
Okay.
of the Most High, which is pretty much the representation of Him.
Yes. So the Most High created His people in His image and in His likeness. And what about likeness that we talked about last week that made it so definitive? Do y'all remember the Hebrew word for likeness?
The Hebrew word for likeness, I think
Yes.
It was mentioned in
Salam.
Genesis first,
Salam.
correct?
No, that's image.
Oh, that was the image.
But
Wait, was it?
Salam, Darmuth was likeness, and it means resemblance, concretely modeled. Okay, so in this awakening, we find in ourselves trying to live the right life, the life that the Most High had given to His people. And as we see the birth of our people, as we are resurrecting through our sleep and slumber, we reflect now on the life of Yehoshua, how the Most High made the Word flesh to be, who is His likeness, to be a model for us.
Mm-hmm.
So now, for those of us who have been in captivity so many different times, it was hard for our ancestors to try to tie in what they should and what they should not be doing because they had no model to go after. You know, follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, in this time, let's look at the couch. I don't know if she's the time that we have, let me back up a bit. So during this time, as we're awakening, we have to ask ourselves, what is it that we need to be more focused on? What's the focus? What's the focus right now? What is the focus of our everyday life? What is the thing that we should keep in front of us at all times? So last week we talked about the false images and the graven images. Anybody want to chime in about a graven image? What's the significance of the graven image that the Most High didn't want us to indulge in?
Basically, like worshiping a graven image, but it's funny how you said that the graven image doesn't always have to be created, like physically. It can be created in your mind, because you know when it's graven in, like when it's a graven image, you already thought it here first before anything else. So that's the main part that I think.
Okay, good. Now, so when something's graven, that means it's instilled. It's something that now is basically it went,
Like an idol base.
yeah, it went from something that was an idea to something that's what?
Actually real.
Actually real, right? It's tangible. So the problem with our people is that we have a tendency to veer off. So what did the Most High do to try to keep us from that?
He made commandments.
Yeah, right.
Say it again.
He made commandments.
He made commandments. Which one did he make? That
The first one, the very first one.
okay? Is that the only one he made about
He
that?
made 4 of them.
Okay, why don't you go to it? Exodus 20. So we can't guess. We got to know. All right, Exodus 20. We're going to see why did the Most High give our ancestors commandments. And not only that, when you pay attention, when you read something, the law first mentioned, or the first thing you read about something, you got to pay close attention to it. It doesn't give insignificance to all the commandments. But the first ones out of the Most High mouth, to me, when I read this, it tells me, wow, we about to have a problem here. Like the Most High knew, man, if I'm about to give these people some commandments, these will be the first ones I give them.
Right.
Okay?
Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that look and keep my commandments.
Hallelujah. So here it is, the Most High is putting emphasis on these scriptures here. Like, first off, don't put no other God before me. Okay? Don't make a graven image. Right? And don't do what?
Put no other God.
That was first.
Bow down.
Don't bow down to it. So, we're not in the olden days like they like to say. We're in 2020 heading into 2021. My question to everybody listening is, do our people still have a problem with images?
Absolutely.
Yes? You think so? Anybody want to elaborate on that?
That's all there is image.
What makes you think that our people have a problem with that?
People conduct their
Yeah.
life.
Have a seat. They do what?
People conduct their life off of what other people's imagine what they should be like.
So people live their life based off how other people perceive them that they should be. Okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Are there any type of resources in society that support image problems?
Right.
Television.
Television's good, okay. Any other thing?
You got phones.
Instagram.
Phone.
You
So
got-
does the phone itself like a telephone?
No, you have cellular devices that can take pictures.
Cellular devices. Okay, cellular devices. Okay. That do what?
That you can take pictures.
How many pictures? 1, 2?
A lot.
A lot? Like if you hold it down, it'll give you a lot? Okay. What other tools does this nation provide to support the breaking of Yah's commandments? These, I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the ones that, listen, that support the ones we just read, that Kiefer just read in regard to don't put other gods before. So does this nation put other gods before Yah?
Right.
Really? Which ones? Which gods? I'm lost. Help me. I'm
Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus. Okay.
Right. Caesar Borgia.
Caesar Borgia with the
Right,
perm.
you got right.
You got a good perm. You got nice.
Alright, you got certain football teams people idolize more.
The online sports.
Right,
Okay.
like somebody will kill you
Right.
over what football.
Oh, they will
team,
kill you over their
Right,
team.
but they not gonna worry about what y'all gonna say.
Okay.
Right,
Cool.
that part.
YouTube and TikTok, that was one of the
YouTube and
answers.
TikTok. Okay. So what about YouTube? So people may argue with us and say, well, there's nothing wrong with having TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, a cellular device, right? People may say that, but is that what we're talking about? When Kiva said, "You shall not bow down into something that's a form of what?
Worship.
It's worship. Well, what is worship?
Humbling yourself.
Humbling
To
yourself.
humble yourself.
Sacrifice.
Sacrificing. Okay. What else?
Praising something.
Praising something. Okay. What about spending time with something?
I was gonna say devoting your time.
Devoting your time.
Mhm.
What about your
Money.
what about your money? Does money follow your worship?
Right.
It does, doesn't it? So now let's back up. Question. Do you think people invest their time, their money, and resources in these social platforms?
Oh yes.
They do, right?
Yes, they do.
Do you think some of these people excessively give themselves into these resources?
Absolutely.
So if they have excessively done it, can we argue and say that this is a form of idolatry and the breaking of Yah's commandments?
Yeah.
We can say
absolutely.
that, right?
Yeah.
So if we can say that, and these resources, now I got a question. These resources we just named, do you have to go to the state of California to apply to get them?
No, they're free.
So I don't have to call the state and say, can I please, do I have to run, a background check for me to get Instagram?
No.
Right. Do I need to provide any type of scriptural reference to get a TikTok account?
No.
No. How much is it per year for Instagram? How much is it cost? Free? Plus tax?
Plus tax, I think it's
It's
free.
free. It's $3 or $3? Is it $3 or $3?
Alright.
It's $3.99. Okay, I like that. So these resources is $3.99. So what's the age requirement for the $3.99 service of these applications that people are drawn to provide some type of worship to? What's the age requirement?
They say 18, but they don't. How they gonna
13.
I think
check
it
that?
says 13.
Yeah, it's like
15, 15. No,
Like
15.
15?
Yeah.
What about when they have different pages dedicated to animals? Have you ever seen that?
Right, with, like little puppy.
Like puppies and horses?
Yeah.
How old does the dogs have to be?
Like 0.
They're
Like,
I mean,
Like
really?
Yeah, they have like
puppy?
Yeah.
old pictures of puppies and art and stuff.
Oh, wow.
it really doesn't even matter at the end of the day.
So it doesn't even really matter, does it?
Nobody's gonna listen to that.
No.
So can I argue this? Can I say, just as I gather my hypothesis of the situation,
Listen.
can I say that this country really don't care who it is or what age they are, as long, watch this, as they engage themselves to try to find an image worth worshiping? Can I say that? Okay. Well, since that's the case, can I ask a question to you? Question is, Do you think this is a nation that really cares about Exodus chapter 20, verse what, 3 through 5? 3 through 6? Question. Anybody want to answer that?
No,
As a whole country?
Yeah.
No.
the country.
So wait a minute. Did they say in God we trust? Did you hear that?
But what God?
Word.
Well, didn't they say one nation under God?
Free nation.
Hey God.
Yeah. Did they say under God? Did they mean the God of the Bible?
No.
That says don't give into idolatry? What God do you think they're talking about?
Their own God, their own imagination.
Your own image.
Own image. Okay, well let's go ahead and get into this. I'm glad you guys put y'all 2 cents in because I wanted to just start off with that to show that everything around us has been formed for us to disrespect the Most High the most. Yeah, this nation don't care about marriages. Yeah, this nation doesn't care about strong families. Yeah, this nation really don't care about a lot. But the number one thing they really don't care about the most, man, I can hear that. The only thing I care about the most is the breaking of the commandments against the Most High God. So as the children of Israel, what he wants more is for us to forget about Elohim. If we can keep this people chasing images, then they won't take heed to what the Most High said not to do. So during this season, 'tis the season, is there a specific type of idol that so many is counting to come through their chimney with a mask on?
Yeah, white man.
Right.
With a mask.
Even if he's not vaccinated and he's riding on rabid deer.
And
The red
watch
nose.
and 6 feet.
I get what I'm saying. Okay? So, in order for America, look, to provoke or to, encourage families to be happy, to be jolly, we want you to indulge in what?
Crazy.
All
Yeah.
the holidays.
What is that called?
In
What
your
is it called?
imagination.
Okay, what is it called?
An image?
Image, your imagination, or we got idolatry.
Idolatry. Yeah.
So this country is formed on idolatry. Okay, so when you went to D.C., they had the Washington what? Monument. They have statues, right? Why? And you know how many people, do people visit those places?
Oh, yeah.
And they pay homage to it.
Mm-hmm.
An obelisk. They pay homage to it. Then, when it's time for a game to be played, a professional sport, they make you do what? Or they command you to do what?
Pledge allegiance.
Oh,
Stand up and do what?
Pledge
Put my hand on my heart and pledge what?
allegiance.
To what?
Flag.
So can the flag talk?
Nope.
Are you sure? Cause I think I seen.
It says
If you
some.
blow it just a little.
Yeah, if it moves the right way.
It might say something sweet.
So flags don't talk. So we're pledging our allegiance to what? To a graven image.
Mhm.
Graven image.
So since we were kids,
Yeah.
we have been told in this place to always give homage to images. Okay? So we are, baptized into idolatry. So why am I talking about it today? Because last week we talked about image. Last week we talked about false image, the likeness of man, graven images. But we got to ask ourselves a question. The question is, why?
It's
Why?
because of Hasatan. This is his playground to defile the children of the Most High.
Good answer. I have a question for you. Has he ever done this before?
Absolutely.
Not at this mass, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh?
Same exact thing.
Same exact thing. Said out this mask, and you say yeah.
Mass.
Okay, you say not as mask. Okay, good. Can anyone name the first time he's ever done this?
And then,
In, huh?
In the garden.
In the garden. Anybody else?
and then when Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar was reigning.
Okay, Nimrod, the garden. Anybody else? When was the first time the enemy?
I'm like,
I'm ready.
wait, I got two answers.
Use idolatry
Oh,
to sin against Yah.
Hashemayim.
Heaven.
So he got
Hashemayim.
kicked out.
Right. So who he is helps you understand where he is in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get what I'm saying? So yes, it started in the Shamayim. And it also came down here on earth in the garden when what? He gave Eve an idea. An idea. So when we look in the streets and we look in our families and we look on social media, everyone is trying to express their image. Why? Because they want to give you
An imagination.
an idea
Idea.
which provoke your what?
Imagination.
Imagination. So let's start with relationships. There's people who are in very tumultuous relationships. They're not thinking about not being in a relationship. They're having a very serious relationship,
A
right?
little entangled.
No situation. But if they are approached by someone who don't have their best interests, and they begin to what? Talk or show themselves. Well, the person who's in the tumultuous relationship, if that person takes heed to anything outside of his relationship, outside of the garden, outside of their purpose, now this individual becomes an idea because it wasn't there before.
Right.
But now that it's here, I have an idea about someone else. Now when this someone else is walking away, I now have this person where?
In your
In
imagination.
my mind, in my imagination. And if I keep thinking about this person when I shouldn't be thinking about this person, this imagination now breeds itself into temptation and sin. So the enemy that we're looking for doesn't have horns.
Right.
The enemy that we're looking for isn't coming to knock at the door. The enemy that we're looking for isn't someone that's about to text you. The enemy that we need to be aware of lives inside of us.
Right.
Are y'all getting this? All right. I'm not going to be too long. So, imagination. What is imagination? What is imagination?
Imagination.
It's a thought.
I have it here.
Thought, you said a thought?
Yes, a thought.
A figment of what you think. I don't know, a figment of, I can't say a figment of your imagination, but a figment of an idea that you think will happen or what you think of something.
Okay. That's good. I like that. Imagination. What is imagination?
Something that you create.
Okay.
Something that's fictional
In your
that you
mind.
create in your mind, I guess.
It's something that's created, something in your mind. Okay, keep going. What's imagination?
It could be like a vision.
Hmm.
Yeah, it can be a vision or
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a platform, like it's a display that points out all the things that you collect in your mind that could display as something important to you, or something that you want, or something that you love, you know, and it could glorify itself in your mind to where that's something that you're always thinking about. It's just like
Okay.
as if you listening to a song, if you really love this song, you're gonna have that song playing in your head all day,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gonna become like as soon as you hear this song on the radio again, you're not gonna want to hear nothing else. You're gonna hear this song. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you're devoting all your time and your spirit into something, which is one. It's already bad you doing that. You're not even reading it and not even studying the word. That's already bad. Second, it's not doing nothing else for you. You're doing it for your personal gain.
For what?
Personal gain.
So imagination is tied to something we're doing personally, right? Good. Anybody else? Imagination. If you say use your imagination, what are you telling somebody to do? Use your imagination.
To think of your own idea.
Come up with your own idea.
Your
Anybody?
thought process.
Come with your own thought process. Hey, wait. Everybody, I want you to use your imagination.
Right.
Okay. Let's get into scripture. Genesis chapter 6. Which one I gave you?
Yeah.
I gave you verse 6.
5, right?
All right, chapter 6, verse 5.
And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Okay,
This is what Elohim
read that again, son. Genesis what?
Genesis 6 and 5. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
So, this was a time when the earth was evil. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. But how did he see it? So wickedness was is the fruit.
You seen it with him, right?
Huh?
So did he not see like in a wicked way? That's how we seen it.
Well, he's seen it like this. So people were doing wicked things. So when you see people doing wicked things, now what happens is you got to figure out where that comes from. So where does wicked things come from? It says it right here in the scripture.
The imagination.
Let's start over. It says, and Elohim saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth. So the earth was wicked. Wickedness doesn't come from guns.
The earth is just producing it.
Imagine.
Wickedness doesn't come from sex. Wickedness doesn't come from violence. Wickedness doesn't come from theft. Wickedness doesn't come from anything like that. Wickedness comes, look it, from the imagination. What's going on? Everything all right? That's all right. We'll keep going.
I was trying to take it away from her, so she's getting frustrated.
Oh, that's all right. It says, look, and Elohim saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his what?
Imagine.
Y'all gotta stay with me. And that every imagination of the thoughts, read the Torah,
Of his heart.
of his what?
Of his heart.
Of his heart was what?
It's only evil.
Continually. So wait a minute. Every imagination of his thoughts. Man's imagination has a tendency of what? Being evil.
And their thoughts.
Yes.
To
In your
create it.
thoughts. So imagination isn't thoughts. It says imagination of the thoughts. So imagination is part of something bigger.
Right.
We're going to read about that.
So, okay. So, because earlier I said imagination is a thought. So,
It's of the, so imagination is part of thoughts, but it's not the thought.
Mm.
See, like right now, we're thinking, right?
Okay.
Right? We're thinking. But it isn't until somebody say, use your imagination till now you got to start focusing.
right.
You're like, okay, look, everybody what? Imagine that you're like,
You gotta start creating something.
yes. We're going to get to that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's good because it says imagination of the thoughts of his heart, meaning like you're thinking about it so much that you get fixated on it
Mm-hmm.
and you desire to do something with that imagination
Mm-hmm.
that's against
Mm-hmm.
it's not right. It's
Yes.
it's a desire. You thought something and now in your heart you have desired to create something from your thought.
Right. Have you ever had a thought, you know your butt shouldn't have had? Oh, I shouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
Come on, I ain't the only one. I act like y'all just some saints up in here. Have you ever had a thought? Like, man, I need to get my thoughts right. That wasn't right. Yeah? So then you start asking yourself the question, what? What's the question you ask? Where did what?
Where'd that come from?
Where did that come from? Look, have you ever had a dream? Watch this. In the dream was something like, man, I don't even do that.
Right.
Where did that come from?
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? So what I want to tell you is that the sin nature has what is called openings. The sin nature has openings. What you listen to, what you see, what is in your peripheral, what's in your subliminal, what's in your subconscious, all that is connected to you. Why? Because we're energy beings. We take things in. Right now we're sitting down. 3, 4, 5G technology is all around us and it's hitting our body subconscious. We can't even see it, but it's happening.
Right.
It's happening. So that means we're part of this whole data system. Now, we're not data equipment, so it affects us in an adverse way. But we're still a part of it. If you look on your phone now and see how many networks is hitting you, you'll be like, wow, there's a lot of networks hitting me. But if you don't see that, you don't even know you're a part of it. So imagination is something like the things that you're able to create out of thin air.
Right.
It's whenever someone gives you an etch and sketch, you can just put something together because that's what's in your mind to create.
Right.
Look, based off the things that are what? Going on around you that have now, look, tapped into your consciousness. Imagination is connected to your consciousness. Go right ahead, sweetheart.
I was just going to read something that's really good. Octaweed posted. It said, "An imagination is somewhere you can go inside yourself and create whatever you want, and nobody can stop you."
Yeah.
So some people take their imagination literally and put their thoughts to work.
Yes.
That is really good because to me, it's like it's something that you've thought up that's sinister. It could be something evil, but no one knows that. It's in your heart to do, and then eventually you do it.
And eventually you do it.
Right.
So sin, listen to me. The problem with our people is the fact that our imagination has been perverted. So now when you come with the truth now has to fight a perverted imagination.
Right.
So it's not the doctrine. Because see, doctrine, we know man can change doctrine, am I right or wrong?
Right.
But see, the truth, when the truth comes, it has to fight perverted doctrine. Because our people have their minds made up. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
We got our mind made up that we are going to continue to break the commandments no matter what you say.
Right.
So listen, y'all can show up in the flesh and tell us to our face
Right.
to love your brethren and to obey the Most High Yah and to keep His commandments. And we will look him dead in his face and plot on a way to kill him.
Wow.
Why? Because our imagination tells us to do so.
Right.
We have been given up into these vile imaginations. This is what's keeping us in sin. So, one more thing, okay? So,
I don't have my hand
oh,
raised.
you don't have your hand raised? Okay, so check this out. This is helping somebody. Because there are relationships right now that are in turmoil. Why? Because the man imagined the relationship to be one way, and the woman imagined it to be another way. But their imaginations, look, I'm going to say they're off, they're missing. Because you can create, look, whatever you want to create when you don't have the truth. See, the truth leaves no room for imagination. Why? Because it's instruction. Imagination don't need, come on, instruction.
Free form.
Yes. Imagination has no bounds. Why do you think artwork that looked like crap sell like $4 million? Sell like $5 million? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it didn't use the rules of the art world.
Right.
Somebody used their what?
Imagination.
Which has no what? Rules.
They call
See,
it abstract.
Yes, abstract. So when Hasatan showed up, he was telling Eve to what? Break the rules. Why? Because you can use your own imagination. So the problem with our people, family, relationships, money, is that they imagine. Their imagination is stronger than how they follow instruction. Can I give you a better example? These two fine, young, handsome brothers here. Y'all see these guys? They resemble me a little bit. I remember when Savannah was instructing them on how to keep things tidy. She gives what is called instructions. But when you're teaching children, a lot of times children like to use their own imagination.
Well, I thought.
So, right. So when imagination meets back up to the instructor, Houston, got a problem. Y'all follow what I'm saying? But it wasn't until, look, you start leaning on instruction, which helps you overcome the wrong imagination. Now, all imaginations aren't bad, but you got to be careful when you use your imagination if you have no type of what? Instructions in your life. See, without instruction, anyone can tell you what to do, and it can be the worst thing for you, and you can go so far, right, because your mind will take you there.
Right.
I hope this helping somebody. All right. You read Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. Can you read that again, please?
Okay. Genesis 6 and 5. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Wow. The hearts of man moved away from the instruction of Yah. So that tells us, when all this time of us not knowing who the Most High was, no wonder our life produced such bad fruit. Because why? Evil rests in our heart. How often? Continually. All right. Strong's number H3336. That's the word for imagination. We're going to find out what imagination is, and we're going to go deep in this, and I'm going to get up out of here, okay? It's Yetzer. Yadi Sion Retz.
Yetzir? Oh,
Yetzir. Yeah.
Yetzir? Well,
Yeah. Yod Sadi Retz. Right?
Oh, I did this
It's-
breakdown on this one
Yes, you did.
before.
Yeah. It's the forming of thought of mind, imagination. Then it says what? Frame. Mind, work.
figurative conception.
Figuratively,
Yeah,
it means conception. Means something to be born. Okay. So what does this mean? Everyone have a different frame of mind. If I ask both these young men to use their imagination based off the frame structure of their mind, you get what I'm saying? They're from conception. Their conception of a thing is going to be how they produce something. And everybody's different, right? So if you don't protect your frame, your imagination, so what does a frame hold in, y'all? Come on. A what?
An image.
Picture, or say it again?
An image.
An image. That's why it's called imagination. It's the frame of an image that you have. So the Most High said, look, I don't want you using your own graven images, carving it out, worshiping it, and bowing down to it. Don't use your mind for that. However, where we are today, this society encourages for people to not have their own frame of mind. We're going to create the frame of mind for you. How about that? We're going to give you all the video games, all the movies. I'm giving you all the apps. I'm giving you everything for free. Free for free.
Free.
Sign
And look, wait, there's more. We can make sure you can hide it. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can do whatever you want. Why? Because we want to be the ones who frame your mind. You get it? So when you are ready to use your imagination, you're going to be pulling from the resources that we provided for you. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? Come on. Everybody's acting the same right now. As soon as they wake up, it's the first thing we grab. Come on.
Oh,
Phone.
Oh, why? Because you're checking the status of your image. Who's looking at me? Who's trying to reach me? Who's trying to? Why? I have an image to help.
We
See
were
what I'm
just
saying?
talking about that.
Yeah.
King Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Pete read
image.
and then after keep reading. So where you at?
Could I? Oh,
Verse
never mind.
6.
Imagination of the what? I need you to stay like right there.
imagination
So I'm
of
still
the thoughts.
yeah.
Of the thoughts.
Of the thoughts.
The thoughts of his heart.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What did you say was a Yod Saudi Rush?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just had a little something to say about that.
Sure.
Okay. So, the hand, the man on his side, and the head, the man, the resh, basically it means to press or squeeze out of shape or into a shape, as when pressing clay into a shape.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna read that, but that's fine.
Sorry.
Okay. No, but yeah.
I was just excited because I did the breakdown on this, and it creates the image. It creates
It's a molding.
it's idol. That's this idol worship. You're creating something that's molding something into a
Yes.
shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing though. It's connected to the likeness. See, if you don't know the image that you're made in, that you've been molded into, then you're going to procreate or create an image that's not of the Most High.
That's good.
So
Yes.
He molded us. He created off of His likeness us. And it's our job to create after Him. But see, our creation don't only come by the physical. It comes by the mental and what we say. This is why I'm a strong advocate to be careful. I tell people, be careful what you say when you're mad. If you can't say the right thing, what do I say? Don't say nothing at all. Why? Because what you're saying, where does it come
It's
from?
in your mind.
It comes from your mind. And if your mind is off,
Right.
you will say something off.
Right. It could curse you.
It can curse you or somebody else. Or get you in trouble. Like, boy, where'd that come from? I didn't mean to say that. Yes, you did. Because that's how your mind has been framed. So now you need to investigate and figure out, where did you get that from?
Right.
Don't ever allow somebody to say, oh, I need to take that back. No, you tell somebody, no, you go back to where you got that from. And tell them to take it back. Because by the time we finish this message today, people are going to really realize what's wrong with them. All of us are going to know what's wrong with us. And where we got the things that made us who we are today. Why we think the way we think.
Okay.
All right? Thoughts. Say thoughts.
Thoughts.
The Strong's number H4284.
H42.
84, meaning Makashaba. Say that.
Makashaba.
Makashaba. Say that.
Makashaba.
Now, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, if imagination is a framework, then what is a thought? It says Makashaba, right? And it means contrivance. Have you heard that word? Contrivance or contrivance? Okay. This is pretty deep. So contrivance, I'm going to read the whole definition first. That is concretely a texture. Watch this. A machine or abstractly an intention, plan. So your thought or your mind operates like a what?
Like a machine is running.
Like a machine.
Ooh, wow, that's good.
Okay? A machine, intention, plan, whether good, bad, plot, advice, cunning work, curious work, device, imagination, invented. It's where inventions come from. Okay? So your thoughts operate like a what?
Like a machine.
Machine.
Like a machine. Okay, so let's look at the word contrivance. I looked it up earlier. Contrivance is the use of skill to bring something about or to create something. So now he's saying, look, your imagination is connected to your contrivance.
Right. So,
So if your imagination off, the way you use your thoughts is going to cause you to create something. So if your imagination's off, then your creation is what? Off.
Ooh.
If your frame is off, then your machine is what? Off. Y'all get this? So what people are trying to do now is they're trying to now pervert your imagination so they can pervert the machine.
The making of something.
The making of something. Now watch this. Here's what they're doing. And we don't even know they're doing it. Second definition. Contrivance. Say that.
Contrivance.
It says a device. Now we know the word thought, right? A device. Especially in literary or artistic composition. Which gives a sense of artificiality. They produce an artificial world to make us become the artificial intelligence.
I was just about to say
Now, wait a minute.
AI.
Now, I thought that the computers are the ones who can be artificially intelligent. Well, not necessarily. Why? Because we're the original machines.
right.
We're the original what? Thoughts. So if everything I teach you is artificial, now you become artificial thought or artificial intelligence. You can't create artificial intelligence if you are not artificial intelligence already. Now get this.
Right.
Get this.
You can't create
Artificial intelligence.
So everything evil is trying to replace the power of the Most High Yah. Are y'all getting what I'm trying to say? So if it's not the real thing, it's the artificial thing.
Right.
Right.
A placebo.
Yeah. So you get what I'm saying? So if our imagination is artificial, then our thoughts, our intelligence is artificial. So we think the AI is the computer. But the AI is really us when we're perverted.
Right.
So now here it is. Look at, we are artificially teaching our kids to depend upon, look man, artificial intelligence.
Wow.
Wow.
So now when our kids start acting like the very thing they're holding, you get what I'm saying? It's because their imagination comes from it. And parents are pushing their kids to it. And further away from Torah and the truth. Contrivance. Ain't that something?
That's deep.
That right there just got me just like,
So
ooh, wait.
that comes from a thought.
Comes from a thought.
And it's basically saying it's like
A machine.
It's a machine. Our minds
Work like
are
a
machines. Because they operate like machines. They compute like machines.
Right. There you go.
So our action has been already computated. How you swing, how you clap, everything is computated. So your behavior is a part of that computation as well.
Right.
So if you are not computating your behavior after Yah, you are actually compensating yourself off of some form of artificial thought, artificial intelligence.
Crazy.
Think about how we even made everything that what it is.
Yeah.
We made things based off of how we think.
That's true. Invention.
Yeah, invention.
Invent. Yeah.
So, what we need to be focused on more than anything is ourselves, is my point.
Yeah.
We need to figure out, why do I think like that? Why do I feel about that about her or him? Or where did that come from? We got to go back to something. We got to go back to Genesis 6 and say, hold on, wait. Genesis 6 and 5 says, and Elohim saw that the wickedness of man. Wait.
Wickedness
Say it again.
of the wickedness of men.
Right. So, what ways of my life? Some people don't even know some of the things that they're doing
It's like
is wicked. So let's start there. All of us. That was wicked. Based off of what? The only way Yah can say that something's wicked is if he knows what's righteous.
Right.
Y'all getting what I'm saying?
And what method is he using to judge it by?
Yeah, not only that, but it's like, yeah, absolutely. And so, check it out. He had to have provided what was righteous in order for him to know when somebody's doing what? Wicked. Right? So, with that being said, the Most High saw the wickedness of man that was greater than the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continued. That means they were creating stuff evil over. He can tell by what they were creating.
Right.
Who would create something like that? Man, who would do something? Why would y'all do something like that? What made you do something like that?
Crazy.
Oh, y'all get what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is where we need to examine ourselves and say, the enemy isn't on the outside. The enemy takes possession on the inside. Are y'all getting what I'm saying?
Right.
Hasatan didn't do nothing in the garden. It's what the woman did with the enemy. He couldn't even get in if you good? He couldn't even get in if she didn't let him in.
Right.
Okay? All right, let's keep going. I'll get out of here. All right. Everything starts with the imagination. 1 Chronicles chapter 28. 1 Chronicles 28:9. And thou, Shlomo my son, know thou the Elohim of thy father, and serve him with what?
perfect heart.
So, these are instructions.
So it's
Are y'all getting what I'm saying?
Right.
But see, these instructions are not getting to our people today. So they're not getting the instructions. And if you don't get a kid instructions, they grow up to be adults with those instructions. Okay? If you're raising kids, if you're a kid with wild, crazy imaginations, you're going to be an adult with wild, crazy imaginations. Are y'all with me? And if you have a choice, we're either following instructions or leading to your own understanding or your own imagination. Are y'all with me?
Right.
And thou, Shlomo, my son, know thou the Elohim of thy father. So he's saying, look, you better know Yah and serve him with what?
With a perfect heart and a willing mind.
That word perfect heart means complete. So look, don't cheat. Whatever you do, don't cheat. Right?
Right.
Don't, what I tell y'all, I'm telling y'all, look, don't come at y'all sideways. Don't get all blessed and think that you can just give him a little bit of your time. Y'all get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Our job is to follow the Most High.
Right.
Okay? It says, someone with a perfect heart and with a what?
Willing mind.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the problem.
A lot of people ain't willing to do that.
You see that?
And then also,
So a complete heart. We're talking about the enemy within.
Right.
Do we serve Yah with a complete heart and a what? A willing mind. Hey, I'm willing.
I want to do it.
I'm willing. You ain't got to wake me up. You ain't got to force me.
Right.
This is something that I'm what?
Willing to
I'm
do.
willing to do. Why? Why am I willing to do that? I got to keep reading this, okay?
Go
I got to
ahead.
keep reading this. Mine. Why? Because what? For Yehovah does what?
Searches
All heart. He searches all heart. Look, I'm going to know if you complete or not. So there's times I tell the boys, hey guys, y'all know when you're not giving him your all. Why? Because he searches it. As parents, our job is to help instruct our kids and show them, hey, look, get your stuff together. Why? Because y'all searching your heart. Well, how do I know that? Because he's searching mine.
Right.
He's searching the heart. For Yehovah searcheth all hearts and what? Understandeth what?
All the imagination.
All the imaginations. He knows all the frameworks of the thoughts, of the different intelligence. I know, meaning if I look at your server, your brain, your mind, I know what's going on with you.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And guess what? You cannot hide from me. So Shlomo has been instructed by his father. Look, I'm the king. And if anybody know about Yah, it's me.
Right.
Because I'm the king. You know, king can hide anything. I thought I hid something from the Most High. And the truth came to my house.
Knocked at the door.
And look, and it's about to take this kingdom away.
Right.
So why am I saying that now? Because we're not even in the kingdom. We're in captivity trying to hide. The reason why we're here is because we've been hiding so long the things that the Most High can see.
Right.
Are y'all following what I'm saying? And so it's time for us to do what? Serve him with what? A perfect heart.
And a willing mind.
And a what? An a willing mind. Should nobody have to even ask you? When you come into instruction and when you come into the knowledge of truth, should nobody have to, hey, I wanted to see, can you, I just want, I'm just going to, hey, I'm just over here for, I'm just going to, no, you're like, stop. I'm good. I'm willing.
Right.
A willing heart, listen to this. Willing mind, For Yehovah searcheth all hearts and understandeth all imaginations of the thoughts. So I know what you're thinking, and I know where they came from. So Dawid says this. If thou seek him, what?
He will be found.
Okay, so look. So is seeking him.
In times, don't let Babylon break you. Don't let them break your soul.
In time, stay woke, it's going down.
We gonna wake up the tribes.
Howard,
willing.
what you cooking?
Last days.
Yeah, we about to wake up the tribe. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah, yeah.